What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, managing editor, FightfulWrestling.com. Hottest wrestling site in the world these days. My God, it is October 11th. We are here to talk WWE Friday Night Smackdown on Fox, the second edition, the WWE Draft Night 1 edition. I am joined by Mr. Warren Hayes. You can see him every week on the Wednesday Night War podcast. You can catch him sometimes on Fightful Select on the Retro Review. He's got a Patreon. He's all over the place. You see his nice link tree there underneath his name on our display. By golly. We'll get to him in a second. Leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to YouTube. We're getting real close to that 20K mark. But if you want your question or statement read on the air, donate a super chat. Any amount gets it done. If you want to ask as many questions as you want, subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. That's our premium service that allows you all to directly support us. I did a Q&A with over 100 questions yesterday. Check it out. Warren, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I had a ball tonight, but for all the wrong reasons, Sean. I didn't enjoy. I'm sure WWE didn't want me to enjoy it in the way I enjoyed it tonight. It was completely unexpected, but I had so much fun.
So I had a fun time watching the show tonight. For better or for worse, whatever. Yeah. I had a good time. Had a good time covering it. And I always look at these drafts as a reset opportunity for WWE. Any excuses that they have, they go right out the window. You can start with continuity, sense, creativity, just a little bit of continuation, all that. It goes a long way. And they found like 4 things for me to go off on this show still. 4 things that they didn't make sense of. My God. Let's go ahead and get into it. Mr. Big Bad Bean says it in the super chat. Was WWE spoiling their own draft a top 5 blunder for WWE? My God. So if you all don't know what we're talking about, WWE listed and sent us and published a draft pool for SmackDown earlier this week. 5 picks in, Fightful's Jeremy Lambert had put a tweet out there saying, hey, the draft picks have went exactly how this is going. And then the next 5 did. And then the next 5 weren't that different. Even though I was sent word from someone saying, hey, they're about to switch them up. They're about to switch them up a little bit. And then that person said, by like 1, they're switching it up. I mean, come on, we knew Kevin Owens wasn't going to fall that far. But damn, man. We'll get to the draft picks themselves later. But Warren, like I said on Twitter, at least this shows you they planned it a couple days ahead.
Yes. And this is why I'm saying that I enjoyed this for all the wrong reasons. There was a little, there was a little side of me that enjoyed the deliciousness of a WWE screw up on one of their biggest nights. And you don't want, well, I say you, I don't want to speak for everyone, and I don't speak for you, Sean, but I don't want WWE to fail. I don't want any wrestling promotion to fail, really.
No, we want to be reviewing good shows here.
Yeah, exactly. But when something like this happens, you sort of slap your knee and you go, ha ha, WWE, you incorrigible scamp. You always pull this off. Can you mess up a cup of coffee? I bet you can, WWE.
I mean, I could mess up a cup of coffee, so you never know. Evangelina Cantu, thank you for the super chat. She says, SRS, sorry, but WWE on Fox is my new favorite Twitter. They're fantastic. They're real good.
I mean, they are spot on good. Like, just the memorial that they did for the wild card rule was, I scoffed. There was a bunch of other stuff that they tweeted throughout the day that just had me cracking up, or like some savage tweets. I don't know who's in charge, but give that person a raise immediately.
Young Bibby says, does Raw get the first pick as well on Monday? I don't know. They have not clarified that.
Yes, they have clarified it.
Yes, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks are competing for the first shot. So there you go. Are they getting rid of the 24/7 champion because R-Truth is not listed as the champ? I don't know. We'll see what they do with that. I don't have any answers on that. Young Bibby says, I hope Carmella gets drafted to SmackDown to feud with Bayley. I do too. I think that would make a lot of sense. I like that. DJ the Kid says, I love heel Bayley, but she was getting babyface cheers. Do you think WWE might pull the plug because of that? Not with that haircut. We'll get more to it later. Not with that haircut. Roman Reigns should have got that same haircut 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Added some edge.
Exactly.
Aaron J's fan says, great character change for Bayley. This is going to be a topic. I don't want you guys to think that we're forgetting your super chats because we will tackle these specific points later, especially since you all mentioned it and asked us about it. Tim Travers says, do we see match ratings for AEW and NXT on Wednesday nights? No, I'm not doing those. It's very, very hard for me to follow those and give fair match ratings at the same time. I might in the future, depending on the demand for such a thing, but I'm open to it. I'm definitely open to it. We're going to cover the draft picks themselves at the end of this show. So let's get into what happened on SmackDown. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Rollins kind of taken up for Raw. Not kind of, he was. Reigns for SmackDown. I had a big problem with this from the jump. Becky and Sasha, I don't, because they are defined on brands. Mm-hmm. They are. But Rollins and Reigns at the time had no goddamn clue what brand they were going to be on. And I'm sitting here thinking, why does it matter? Why would they care that much? Well, as it turns out, Reigns didn't care that much because when the Fiend showed up, he hit the bricks. Where'd he go? Are we going to find out next week? I hope.
Well, I mean, the last time you saw the Fiend, he was forcing blood out of Seth Rollins' mouth. Yes. You'd hit the bricks too, Sean, if you saw him pop up out of nowhere. Probably like, no, this is not worth it.
Well, we'll talk more about Bray later, but like 14 minutes into this show, all the counters stopped because this match was truly nothing for the first 10 minutes. It was a bunch of staring at each other like, I know you. No, I know you. Oh, we're familiar. We've tagged before type of stuff. Like, you know what it is. And that's what they do. It was the friendly competition thing. But I wasn't given a real reason of motivation for these guys. Corey Graves has done a real good job of explaining the winner's purse and all that, and I appreciate that. That was the saving grace. But he didn't do that tonight, and not that he has to. He really only has to say it once for it to be in canon. But, like, why would Reigns care? He didn't know what brand he was going to be on.
I mean, it's always about stakes, right? If it had just been, okay, you two are in this position, and bear with me, it's not going to work in the case of Seth here, but let's say you had put another guy in the play in lieu of Seth that wasn't a champion, and you say, look, you guys are fighting for the number one spot. And if you win for the brand, we're going to give you the first title shot on the first show post-brand. And then you already have motivation for these guys to actually go out and fight each other. Instead of this, where it's just like, hey, whoever wins first gets the first shot. And you're like, okay, well, basically you're being corporate stooges, dudes.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately, not a good look.
This match I thought really heated up like about 15, 16 minutes into the show. Reigns hit that one-arm power bomb. I will say this, and I tweeted it. When I see Rollins doing a suicide dive a couple days after Darby Allin, I don't want to be that guy that compares everything to something else, but man, you see a Darby Allin suicide dive and he really gets all of it. He only needs to be doing one of those at a time. That's it.
But they're patented, Sean. You know that.
Oh, just God like we just
Rollins
patented it, didn't he? Son of
yes, and we did learn tonight that the stomp is also patented as well.
But God,
I know.
I would let that patent go after this Sunday. I tell you that much. I would let that one lapse. Maybe MLW will buy that one and make something of it again, and WWE can buy it later, like they did with War Games. And now Cody wants to buy that.
Yeah, now Cody wants it. There you go.
See, if MLW would have waited a few months to sell War Games, they could have had a bidding war.
Yeah, exactly.
Still, I thought it was savvy of them to sell it and then do the War Chamber. We'll talk about that on another day. But anyway, Darby Allin has the best suicide dive in wrestling. Mm-hmm. These replays on Fox also look very weird and very 90s and very slow. But Reigns does a Superman punch, which was real good, like false finish. I loved Rollins countering the spear with the short pedigree. Like he didn't try to hook the arms. He just kind of planted it. I thought that was really cool. But then Rollins just, it goes dark. It goes dark, and all of a sudden, the Fiend shows up. Now, this is much less special than it would have been before a week ago. Warren.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, and Rollins is dragged down into the hole, and mandible claws put on him. We see the Fiend up on the ramp. Sorry to cut you off there. I had to just finish that off, but Whew. What'd you think of this? I didn't hate it, but I'm like, damn, man, you all gave us one of the dumbest ass finishes ever Sunday, and this is a pretty dumb finish too.
Yeah, and if you consider that this is technically the follow-up to Sunday, so we're basically at the exact same spot. But I'm more concerned with the Fiend character in and about itself. You know what made the Fiend special, Sean, right? It's the fact that we never saw him on television. Or when he did pop up, it was unexpected. He'd slaughter, he got into his routine of slaughtering legends, but then again, it didn't go overboard. Like, he took out 2 or 3, and that was it. And then, so, we sort of got into their groove. Then we moved into the Seth feud, where he'd pop up at the main event because Seth was always in the main event and would always kind of end the same way. I thought that time when he attacked Braun and had difficulty putting Braun down, I thought that was an interesting twist, but he eventually did get Braun down. Here, well, I don't know. Was it the gimmick of coming out of the ring that made it special? Because it wasn't. It wasn't all that special. We saw it in 1996 when Undertaker popped out under the ring to drag Bret Hart in under the ring. We saw it, back in the 90s as well when Ultimate Warrior would show up in WCW amidst the smoke.
I agree. Sometimes when you emerge from a hole, it's not as special as it once was. You lose that excitement. You lose that spark. Sometimes, quite frankly, when you go in and out of that hole, it can be somewhat of a horror story, as we've seen. But if you want to turn it maybe into a nice romantic comedy, or if you want to eliminate the comedy altogether and make it really dramatic, BlueChew.com, code Fightful, can help. BlueChew.com brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You know they work. They've been working for decades. Decades! But you're going to get that finish, but you're going to get the kind of finish that you want. Not the kind of finish that some 74-year-old man wants. I mean, maybe if you're having sex with a 74-year-old man, it will be the type of finish that he wants, because it's going to be a great experience for whoever's involved. And you don't have to wait in line at the doctor. It's prescribed online. It's shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. Nobody knows what you're getting in the mail. And right now, you get it for free. And you know that when they give you something for free, they expect you to come back and pay for it later because the product is so damn good. Damn, man. BlueChew.com, code Fightful. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. It's made in the USA. It ships direct. It gets into your system much faster than those other guys. BlueChew.com, code Fightful.
You're welcome, Sean.
You're going to be in the States soon, I understand. Maybe you can pick up some, Warren.
Look, I'll definitely look into it. We'll make a thing out of it.
Yeah.
We'll fill out the form together.
Yes. Okay, we will. My God. Hannah Moore says Carmella will go to SmackDown because of Graves. I think it's a good point. Very good point. Do I have your attention now? Says, my God, did you see those cringy scripted promos for Crown Jewel this afternoon? Those were so bad. So bad, and it kind of shows you why Cain Velasquez is speaking Spanish on this program. Because he sure as hell can't cut a promo in his first language. It was shitty. Tyson Fury, however, can cut a promo in English. He does it very well. However, sometimes you do want to script the guy because he's batshit crazy and, quite frankly, a giant asshole. Brock Lesnar, in this setting, can cut an outstanding promo. Brock Lesnar was known as one of the best promo guys in the UFC, which is crazy to think because he's got Paul Heyman with him now. But you go back and you see some of his stuff from back then. He was one of the most charismatic guys in the UFC. Unbelievable. Braun can cut a good promo. Those were the absolute shits. Thank God Heyman was there. Someone says, why did it seem like the War Rooms were surprised after the picks were made? Well, they didn't seem that surprised. I like the idea of the War Rooms, Warren. The Warren Rooms. But God, they had some shitty actors there.
Oh, you mean they weren't really executives?
I don't believe so.
Honestly, I was a little disappointed because when they were saying that there was going to be execs, I thought they were actually going to come out and they were going to be like vice president of branding or vice president of graphics or whatever. However, I was really, really entertained at first to realize that RoboCop was part of the Fox war room, to be later explained that this is not in RoboCop, but the Fox Sports robot mascot, who, by the way, is named Cletus.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Sean?
Yeah, I did know that, actually.
That's amazing. He was designed by a 7-year-old, Sean. I learned so many things today about this mascot. And he had anyway, whoever was doing him had some fantastic pantomime. But I like the idea of the war room. You know, they all shot these in the afternoon. You know, I can see the director, the producer being, okay, guys, now we're going to do a shot where you won a draft pick. Okay, now we're going to do one where you just missed out on a big one. And you start flipping tables. That must have been a lot of fun to do, though.
Joe Farley actually follows up on that and says, give me the Fox NFL robot in the Royal Rumble, you cowards. I would love it. I wouldn't care. I don't mind them using Royal Rumble spots like that. I don't mind it at all. Someone says, WWE's quality assurance team badly for live TV. Thoughts on the Samoa Joe Renee Young line? More of a rib. I believe Moxley and Joe are friends. What am I missing here? What did I miss? Do you know?
When Renee introduced Joe said something to the effect, "Nice to see you, Renee. Glad to see you're keeping the lights on in your home." That's what he said.
That's hilarious.
That's fantastic. It is a perfect rib. I thought it was great. And I'm sure she gave him a good slap on the shoulder when the cameras were away.
Well, hopefully she didn't give him too hard of a slap on the shoulder. Did you see Tyson Fury and Braun today? They slapped each other on the shoulder and they're like, hey, oh. Like that's what about set shit off.
I don't remember what I saw, but someone on Twitter compared it to Step Brothers.
Yes.
You know, the movie, which I thought was fantastic.
Yes. Someone says, is it me or is the WWE music just so generic? They kept showing each network brand room. It was so cringy. I didn't think the idea was cringy. I thought the performances by the people in there were cringy. I thought the idea of doing it was phenomenal. I thought it made a lot of sense. I loved the idea of USA versus Fox instead of the passe general manager horse shit. You had this, and you were able to get Fox and USA on board with this. It makes sense because that's what a lot of people are talking about, Warren. I thought that was a brilliant idea.
And hopefully this is something that they can reinforce, you know, down the line. You like, I'm drawing a bit of a blank, but I think it was ECW when they were, I can't remember which, it was either ECW or TNA. Sean, help me out. And they were they had problems with the network. I think TNN. It was TNA under Russo, right?
Well, what you talking about? Heyman going on and shooting on TNN?
Well, it wasn't exactly. Oh, TNN. That's right.
Yeah, and they portrayed the network with Cyrus. Yeah, Don Callis. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Exactly. I mean, you maybe don't have to go into actually creating a character, but, you know, having, we've received word from the network kind of thing. You know, we need to do this. And I dig that much more than a character authority figure, quite frankly. If they want to keep pushing it this way, I really like it. I think it's a great idea. The execution was just a little strange, but that's fine.
Yeah, I dug the idea. I thought it made a lot of sense. I thought that splitting up the draft pools made a lot of sense. We'll get to that later. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself right here. Up next, we had King Corbin defeating Shorty Gable. Why did we need this again, Warren? Why?
Not so soon. I mean, you know, at Hell in a Cell, it was clear that their feud wasn't over because Corbin went after him. But we definitely didn't need it this quickly. I like the match.
It's the fourth one.
But, you know, it goes back to, you know, look, let's consider this. I'm ready to give him a pass, a bye on this stuff, because we are in the middle of the draft. The official reset, the true beginning of the next season of WWE is going to start next Friday, once the draft is done on Raw on Monday. If we start seeing Corbin versus Gable again in next Friday or next Monday, I think then we have a reason to start flipping tables, because the idea here is to get fresh matchups. It's to see new things. So tonight we're still in reset mode. I'm okay with them giving this match tonight because they knew it would work.
It was a fine match. Gable countered a deep six with the Bulldog, hit a moonsault and an ankle lock, but walked right into the end of days. But I didn't need to see this, and we're reminded for the second match in a row, we may never see this again. Hopefully not. But Chad Gable did not get picked tonight. We will elaborate on that. What?
Who?
Chad Gable. Shorty Gable.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's his name now. His name is Shorty. And let me tell you, as someone who is typecast by their incredible height, as I am super tall. I am the tallest. I can tell you that I sympathize with the man, so I understand what they're doing, because now everybody comes up to me and they go, SRS, the fucking legend, you're so tall. And I'm like, me? Listen, I'm pretty tall, but I'm not that tall, and I would never call myself the fucking legend, Warren, but people do. People come up to me and say that, as, you know, like people will say that, and I just, okay, thank you, because I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude about it.
It is plausible, at some point. I'm really looking forward to see how tall you are. You come to Toronto on occasion, right? Toronto is in my country. It's a bit of a drive, but I could make it. It'd be interesting, to just see, for me to live the experience. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, and you would never have to go to like a Ripley's Believe It or Not again and pose next to that dumbass short person statue they have, whatever. Brock and Kane. Paul Heyman comes out. I dug this promo. It's a little bit of different source material this time. Cain Velasquez has beaten Brock Lesnar, beat him in a shoot fight. Heyman says that Brock has never made excuses, but he is going to sort of exorcise his demons, battle his ghost, so to speak. Well, let me tell you, it's interesting that he called Cain Velasquez a ghost, because this goddamn promo is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Cain Velasquez, who speaks fluent English, it's actually his first language. He doesn't speak... I'm not sure how well he speaks Spanish, but he cuts his promo in Spanish. And then Ray says, Kane says he's going to give you a matching scar on the other side of your face, which I thought was an okay line, but like, why didn't Kane just say that?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But I do. What I liked about this promo was in the details. It was Paul Heyman cutting his promo, like you said, bringing out some new stuff, some new material, felt fresh. Meanwhile, a Brock Lesnar standing there, not exactly as confident or as, let's say, cocky as he usually looks when Paul is cutting his promos. You can tell that the story that they want to tell here is that Velasquez is living rent-free in Brock Lesnar's head. The minute that he saw him, it all came rushing back, and Lesnar is having issues dealing with these very conflicting emotions. Like, I think that if you just took a minute to talk about it, maybe send him to therapy like they did with Bayley and Sasha last year, I think he could get over it. But instead, we're probably just going to move on to this fight. I like that they showed the still frames of the Velasquez fight in UFC, where the casual WWE audience who doesn't necessarily follow MMA we never got to see a battered, bloody, disfigured Brock Lesnar. That's an image. Like, that's something that, as far as his WWE persona, does not exist. They mentioned the scar. I'm going to give you another scar. I liked how this was set. It was an entertaining promo. I thought there was good stuff that came out of this.
New Day do a breast cancer presentation. It is that time of the year. I think they're great to do this type of stuff. They're just fantastic at PR.
And I mean, isn't Xavier Woods just one of the best guys to do this as well? If he did, connect with this breast cancer survivor, and they went and hung out and have nachos together and stuff and take selfies. He is just the perfect guy to do that. He looks like he's one of the most affable dudes in all of wrestling. It just makes perfect sense. I thought that was a great segment.
We go to a commercial pretty early. The OC distracted the ref so a stair spot could work out. And then Kofi pins AJ Styles with a Trouble in Paradise. Now, I wondered a lot of things upon Kofi's match last week. This ain't a bad follow-up for him, pinning one of the most, I don't want to say one of the most protected, but one of the most decorated wrestlers, not just in WWE, in the world ever.
Sure.
This guy has held championships in Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact, TNA. He's held the NWA championship. He's been all WWE. Like, AJ Styles is a favorite of Vince McMahon. I mean, it's not a secret. Kofi Kingston wins with his finish, clean in the middle of the ring. Also, we're told, will this be the last time? But your thoughts on this match and Kofi in particular?
I thought this was a good match. Kofi's sequence started with a really strong hot tag. We didn't get to see the Big E hot tag, which is one of my favorite hot tags in the business, but that's okay. Kofi did a great job. I loved how to get to the Trouble in Paradise, Kofi was sneaking out of AJ's finisher offense. He slid out of a Styles Clash. He rolled out of a calf crusher. Kofi was just too wily, AJ couldn't get him. He avoided the Ushigoroshi and then hit the Treble in Paradise. I thought it was a fantastic finish. I will say it is a little strange, and because as a fan, and I'm sure a lot of fans out there feel the same way, we don't have a sense of closure regarding Kofi and his Universal title run. We don't have a sense of closure. He lost the title in 6 seconds last week and he vanished. There wasn't, we talked about this last week. There wasn't even a shot of him clutching his head. He was just gone. Comes back this week. He's got the pancakes. He's all smiles. Sure, the power of positivity can do great things, such as lead you to a victory over AJ Styles. But at the same time, it would be just a small form of vindication for us as fans, just to get a proper wrap-up. If he were just to say, I am coming back for my title. I don't know when, but I will be back for it. At least that. Because right now we're still hanging and it's still open. It was kind of strange that it wasn't even addressed.
I had someone say, oh, well, he went straight to the mid-card. Where else is he going? He ain't fighting.
Straight to the mid-card.
Just beat AJ Styles.
Isn't it great to just go straight to the mid-card, but he gets a win over AJ Styles? My God.
Like, I mean, I get it. He's Kofi Kingston, and he lost in 6 seconds, and if there's one thing I hate, it's motherfuckers. Pardon my language. I've got to cut out the F-bombs on this show. I apologize. But some of the things that I've been reading frustrate me so much. He throws the pancakes. I can't take him seriously. Whose problem is that? Whose problem is that you think that every single champion has to be Ivan Drago? Like, not every champion has to be Ivan Drago. They don't have to be. They can have personality. They can do what they want. Daniel Cormier gets half naked and dances in front of a green screen with chicken and ice cream floating around. One of the greatest fighters in combat history. Damn. So dumb. It is set for Crown Jewel, or as we call it, Sands of Time. Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar, WWE Championship. Tyson Fury, Braun Strowman. What do you think of those? Yeah. I like the approach. I like the approach of getting relevant or somewhat relevant current combat stars, because let's be honest, as much as I would love to see Shawn Michaels wrestle again, Michaels, Undertaker, Kane, and Goldberg did not work out for them.
No, it didn't. And, since they can't resurrect the Ultimate Warrior, what else are they going to go for? And I mean, if they want to do this, if they want to go, to me, the guy who's going to benefit the most out of this is Braun Strowman. He is getting so much attention right now. He looks good next to Tyson Fury. I think it's a smart match. They're both tall guys, very physical, and he's getting the mainstream press. I mean, he's going to be the big winner out of he's going to be the big winner out of all of this. But kind of like I said last week, this whatever they're setting up for Crown Jewel is not for wrestling fans. It's to attract that sweet mainstream media attention. But for people who are into wrestling and who like wrestling, there's not much going on there.
Hannah Moore sends a bunch of pancake emojis that I didn't know existed. And
oh, really?
Here we are. We're already at the main event. Because a lot of this was the draft, which we're about to get to. SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley becomes the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, there will be a lot of angry people. Well, they're just doing it to rack up Charlotte's reigns. Well, obviously. But I don't care. I'm okay with that. Good. I hope she gets 17 title reigns so badly.
Sure. I don't mind either. And let's not forget, like, the title reign that she had before this lasted, 3 minutes?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't mind it at all. I like watching Charlotte Flair. I hope she breaks the record. Good. So the big stories of this were all Bayley. Bayley comes out, has some new gear. Looks like AEW colors, to be quite honest with you. Throws off her hood, has a new haircut. No more side pony, Warren.
I dug it. I like it. Something's up with the women in WWE when they start screwing with their hair. Something's up. I liked it. I loved her new look. Do you want to keep going?
She killed the Bayley buddies. I loved it. Like, what did she have? Did she have an axe or was it like a prospector thing? No, she's from San Jose, right?
Yeah, she's from San Jose, California.
San Francisco, the 49ers. Come on now. Prospecting.
I didn't know. Yeah, would have been a stretch. But no, like, it didn't look, I thought it was an axe. It was definitely an axe handle, but it had like 2 prongs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked like something they finagled in catering.
They've got talented enough people to do that.
Sure.
Charlotte gets her mouth busted up pretty good, booted Bayley off the apron. I was excited to see the new heel Bayley. She walks up the buckles on a backslide and does a Bayley to belly for a 2 count. She tried to cheat and can get the job done, but then just rolled up Charlotte out of a figure 8 and won. Now, her not getting the pin off the Bayley to belly makes me wonder if she'll get a new finish.
Well, she used both of her closers, let's call them that, because the top rope elbow was a big one in NXT, and the Bayley to belly. This would not be the first time that a babyface finisher suddenly doesn't become effective when you turn to the dark side. Just as much as the Yes Lock was an instant tap out when Daniel Bryan was a babyface, when it became the LaBelle Lock. Mm-hmm. Suddenly you could power out of it, So I'm definitely interested, because to be honest, the Bayley to belly never did anything for me.
Yeah,
like as a finisher, it's a transitional move. It's fine, but as a finisher, never did anything for me. So if she gets something that has a little more oomph, then I'm good for that. That would have been another good transition right there.
I like wrestlers evolving. We always talk about Chris Jericho reinventing himself. Lion Salt, Lion Tamer, Walls of Jericho, which was different than the Lion Tamer, Codebreaker to now the Judas Effect.
Well, sometimes you don't always go up.
I like a good back elbow.
Yeah, I like a good back elbow,
I used a varying number of back elbows.
I'm sure you deliver a fantastic back elbow, Sean.
Real goddamn good back elbow.
I can't necessarily say that. There you go. I wish I could tap you on your back, but you're so goddamn tall.
Man. So I see a lot of people saying this. I didn't like the Bayley You People promo. I don't consider this an all you people promo, because you know what she didn't say? All you people. She stopped. It matters. And when Bayley, of all people, goes, hey, bitches, screw all of you, and leaves, That's it. An all you people promo is a lot more extended than this. Hey, all you people, this is why I'm doing it. No. That's not what Bayley said. Bayley just said, hey, bitches, screw all of you, and left. Cool. I'm ready for her to show up in the rafters, face painted with crow and frowny and all that stuff. Her new finish is gonna be a reverse DDT. She's gonna take a year and a half off. She's gonna show up at Starrcade 2020 without a tan. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
And they're gonna de-push her. It's gonna be like
Yes.
that's just gonna be super. Nick Patrick's gonna come in and do another count. I like Bizarro Bayley. And I think this is exactly what she needed. And could this possibly be the best orchestrated heel turn that we've seen in a long time? Because this is, when you look at it, for the past few months, Bayley has been like, no, I'm still a babyface. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm still the same. What's wrong? What's wrong with you guys? She was delusional. She didn't realize that what she was doing was being a little jerk. But now she's embracing the personality. Now it's like she's no longer the fresh-faced little schoolgirl. Now she's an emo teenager, and she's telling mom and dad to fuck off. Excuse me, but that's essentially what it is now. She's Bizarro Bayley. She's moved on. She's slaughtered the Bayley buddies. I think this is exactly what she needed. And I also think that this, however, telegraphs the fact that Charlotte is going to Raw.
Yeah, we needed some edge for Bayley. We need it for a lot of people. And they got real lucky that Sasha Banks was in better shape, apparently, than what we heard, because
good.
As of, I can't remember it was Wednesday when I published the report. I had asked and they said she's still undergoing tests. And I was like, damn, come on. They need those two women on each brand to help anchor those brands. Especially as we find out Ember Moon is sidelined with maybe an Achilles injury. That's rough. That ain't good. I liked what ended SmackDown. I thought it was really good. Let's talk about the draft. Now, oh boy. They telegraphed it, and they switched it up a little bit.
This is not telegraphing, Sean. They leaked themselves.
They leaked it.
They leaked themselves.
I told somebody, so it's funny. I reached out to somebody in WWE who I talk to very frequently about this, and they're like, I hate to drop the F-bomb again, but I'm quoting. Are you fucking kidding me? They spent the entire week kayfabing us, then they spoiled it them fucking selves. That was just... I have been given scripts with less accurate information than what WWE put out. WWE has threatened to sue Fightful for putting scripts out there that were less accurate than this. Damn, bro. So, let's run through this. Raw got the first pick. Becky Lynch was the first pick. Warren, I thought this was a good idea. I thought it had to be this way. And the reason why it had to be this way, as I explained on the Listen You Boy, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, myself and Fightful founder Jimmy Van break down the weekend news. I think that for lapsed fans who might be tuning in, or for anybody that might have any doubt, it was a way for them to say, hey, maybe you haven't watched this in a while, but things have changed. Things are a little bit different now. And this is how much we care about this division. I thought she was the right number one pick, Warren.
I mean, look, as far as putting across a message, it was very clear. Let's not forget last week on the first edition of SmackDown on Fox, she was the first WWE superstar to appear on camera. She was the first person to come out to the ring. So in a sense, it makes sense. I mean, she is the face of the company. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who still would really, really like it to be Roman Reigns. But no, I mean, she is the face of the company. She's still getting the reactions. This made perfect sense. And if they do want to be serious about the women's division, these are the types of moves that they have to do.
And there's a lot of people talking about A show, B show. There's not an A show, B show right now.
Not right
USA Network's paying them $1 billion as well. And WWE has to provide them more content. Oh, by the way, USA is also paying for Wednesday nights too. So pissing off USA Network, quite frankly, a 35-year partner, is not something that WWE is doing. That's not something what they're looking to do. DJ Cass says, so detached from the main roster product. Has anything changed? Bayley is a heel now, just shows how bad WWE is at making baby faces. Yeah, They had a slam dunk with Bayley, and they pissed it away.
Bayley will always be remembered in the top tier of the NXT talents that moved up to main, and WWE did not know what to do with them. I am still a big Bayley fan. I was won over with her in NXT. She was the female John Cena, and then they did Bayley, This Is Your Life with her.
Oh my God, that was so bad. Brian Medina says Bayley as the new Sting would work. I don't know if it would work, but it'd be funny.
It's just funny to think.
Yeah.
Or at least, if she's in Juggalo paint, that'd be funny.
Roman Reigns, the first SmackDown selection. Good. Makes a lot of sense. Now, this had a lot of people confused after this. They're like, why didn't this person get picked? Well, what they did is they split up the eligible draft pools. There were like 31 talent available on Friday, and then like 40-something Monday. I like this because I wondered, how are they going to do this? Because naturally, all the top picks would get picked on Friday. I thought this was a smart way to split it up, Warren.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the idea of the draft pools. Making sure that everyone was clearly on their side. But
they screwed it up.
They screwed it up. The wild card rule still popped up for one more minute tonight, Sean. Just the ghost of the wild card rule came to haunt us just for a second.
We'll go ahead and talk about that. Heavy Machinery went number 8 to SmackDown, I believe it was, right?
I think it's number 8. They were drafted in the 4th round.
Yes, in the 4th round, but no, SmackDown's 8th selection, whatever.
They were in the Raw.
They were in the Monday pool.
Yeah.
Boy, here's who else Raw got. Drew McIntyre, very early, ahead of Randy Orton, Ricochet, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Natalya, the Viking Raiders. All of those are honestly good picks. There was nobody that I looked at on the Raw side and said, damn, wouldn't mind them. Like, they got a real strong roster.
Yep.
SmackDown ended up with, like, Lacey Evans and Lucha House Party, and we'll get to that. But WWE, I just begged for them to make a little sense. With their number 7 selection, they picked Alexa Bliss, who was listed in the draft pool with Nikki Cross. So you'd think, oh, damn. Damn, man. Why wouldn't they just pick her with Nikki Cross? They may want to split them up. No, they picked Nikki Cross 4 spots later, Warren.
Correct. Someone was sleeping on the job at USA Network. Someone didn't quite understand the rules of the draft. I didn't. But this is look. We can only chalk this up to them scrambling to mix things up when it became apparent that everyone on Twitter was tweeting out the fact that the order of picks was essentially on WWE.com, that you could just go see the order and it was right there. That's when they started moving things around. But I mean, it just looks dumb. It just looks dumb. Why would you have wasted a pick? Because they were considered a team. They were listed as a team. So you could have just picked both of them. But then, look, I'm convinced there's a guy backstage who was there and he was saying, well, goddamn, pal, we ended up with everything on the internet. Split Alexa and Nikki. Okay, so is Nikki going to SmackDown? No, we're both on Raw. But then why can't they draft them together? Don't ask too many questions, pal. Just make it happen.
So over on SmackDown, I thought that their first 4 picks were real good. Roman Reigns, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Sasha Banks, Braun Strowman. That's 4 real good ones. Then they go Lacey Evans. All right. Okay. They obviously think a lot of her. The Revival, fantastic pick. Also, your SmackDown champions. The last 2, a little confusing. Lucha House Party, Heavy Machinery. Now, Heavy Machinery kind of get their protected. Lucha House Party have been so dead in the water. They are not over. Nobody cares about them on the main roster. They are unbelievable workers. Unbelievable workers. But that one was a little bit confusing. The free agent pool, keep in mind, has Cesaro, EC3, Chad Gable, Drew Gulak, Heath Slater, the B Team, Tamina, Eric Young, Sin Cara, Akira Tozawa, Humberto Carrillo. Were you surprised that Lucha House Party or anybody went above the free agents?
You can tell that they're trying to do something with Lucha House Party. They're trying. God bless their heart. They're giving them a chance. I think one of the things that didn't work out for Lucha House Party is that they were positioned. You will recall when they ended up on Main, they had the Noisemakers, right? And they were in their feud with the Revival, where they would have Lucha House rules, and it'd be 3-on-2, or they'd have all these wacky rules where you sort of felt bad for the Revival, who were just coming out to have a tag team match, and they ended up with these goofballs here. Then they ended up with trying to put over Lars Sullivan, who ended up being injured as well. Their first really good main roster match happened on Monday this week. That's the first time where they actually got a chance to shine. It's either going to be one of two things with Lucha House Party. It will either be, we're going to do something proper with you guys, we're going to give you a shot, or you're going to be there to make the other teams look good. It's going to be, they're either going to be the new B team, or they're going to try something out with them. But it'd be a waste if they didn't try something out. Grand Metalik is too good. Lindsay has fire, and he can cut a promo. We discovered this in the latter days of 205 Live. That guy has timing, and he knows how to talk. If they were to just give them a little wiggle room, I think we'd all be surprised.
Kristen Ashley sends a super chat and says, "Split Alexa and Nikki? Don't ask Warren. He's wrong." Damn. Honeymoon's over.
Well, the ticket's non-refundable. What can you do?
Yeah, speaking of, Warren, you will be in the States next weekend, so you will not be here with me.
I'll be traveling, correct.
When do you travel? Are you going to be on Wednesday's show?
I will be on Wednesday's show. I'm literally on a plane during SmackDown next Friday.
Literally. Well, guys, we literally appreciate all your support. Fightfulselect.com is the most direct way to do that. We have seen like a 20% jump in subscribers this week. It has been absolutely insane. I want to thank all of you guys who have done that. Once we hit 500 subscribers, I'll be doing that Q&A show every single week. But it has been a major success. We hope that once we move that from the Patreon platform to Fightful.com, you all will follow us over there. But go over to FightfulSelect.com. I had some news on SmackDown. I'm going to have some championship belt news pretty soon if I can get it confirmed. I had a lot of stuff. We're starting to post like some documents and things like that we've had access to and have been posted. We had early access to just a ton of stories over there. But hey, if you're over here, you're on YouTube right now listening to us, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. But we're on podcast platforms everywhere. Warren, where can the people find you?
Well, since you're already on YouTube, why don't you just open up a new tab in your browser and flip on over to youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes and give a subscribe there. I have my own show every Thursday evening. I live stream it, talk about wrapping up everything WWE and the rest as well. I have a Patreon, as Sean mentioned as well. Not even looking to get as hot as Fightful. Whatever you guys can drop. Patreon.com/Mr. Warren Hayes or on Twitter at Mr. Warren Hayes.
Impact Wrestling fans, we are going to be Impact heavy next week. I have major features and interviews with Ethan Page and Jordan Grace. Also, Denise Salcedo was in Los Angeles today getting interviews with numerous Impact Wrestling stars. Those will be up soon, depending on how time-sensitive they are based on the release. But Impact Bound for Glory next weekend. You will be at an Impact event, I'm told, Saturday?
We're going to be at All Glory next Saturday. Yes, we're probably going to get to see the last of Shotzi Blackheart, one of her last indie dates.
You're going to give me a tell-all with Kylie Ray, right?
Yeah, look, count on Kristen.
Well, here's the thing. If it happens, I'm going to credit Kristen. If it doesn't happen, I'm blaming you.
Fair enough.
Do I Have Your Attention Now says, this is random, but Dustin Rhodes is staring at me. I'm going to need... Oh, okay. Over Warren's shoulder. I was like, are you at a Denny's or something? Like what happened? Is he getting like some hash browns? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. Reminder, guys, we got all kinds of cool stuff at Fightful.com. UFC event this weekend. Kind of quiet on the wrestling end of things, but we've got a ton of shows for you guys. Thank you all so much for your continued support. We're out.